Let's have a look at the Boker Plus Worldwide. Straight up, this is a very beefy knife, considering it is UK legal. So let's start there. This is a UK legal carry, as it is non-locking, and the blade length is under 3 inches, so that's good. The blade is kind of difficult to open. I mean, as you can see here, it does have a nail nick to open it. I don't know what the point in that being there is, because you can't really... If you try to open this with your nail, you're going to break your nail. So you kind of have to get in a pinch grip to open this blade. And it does have the half stop, the safety feature. Here we have the knife fully open, and it's got quite a lot of curve to the blade. That will be good for slicing, and it is reasonably thick, some pretty aggressive jimping there. And on the handle, it is left and right-handed carry, tip up or tip down. Whenever it comes to pocket clips, I just leave it in the original configuration that it comes in. I think this is G10 for the handle scales, and we do have a lanyard loop. Honestly, I wish lanyard loops came on every single knife. Quite an important thing, I think. As you can see here, we do have steel liners, and they are fairly thick. Those are actually hollowed out, they're skeletonized. There's 3 holes cut into each liner. I doubt you can see that on the camera. Now, on my one, I've noticed that if I can get it to focus, right about here somewhere, the blade is chipped, and I've not got a clue how that's happened, because I've never even carried this knife. Not used it once, nothing. It's just sat on display. 99% of the time the blade is closed. I don't even have this blade opened very often, so I don't know how that has occurred. But this is a Boker Plus model, so it's probably made in either China or Taiwan. And it does have Torx screws, so it can be disassembled. And I believe that's the blade steel, OS 8. I know nothing about blade steel. To me, steel is just steel. I don't really bother much for the steel. It is fairly heavy. I mean, one of the reasons I've not carried this knife is because it is so big and, it's so beefy and heavy, which is, good, because it is a UK legal carry knife, and it is nice to be able to carry a big beefy knife like this legally in the UK. I mean, you can see just how wide that blade is. In fact, let's do some measurements here. Just over 3 centimeters tall. What's that in inches? Over 1 and a bit inches. And what do we have in blade length? Really depends where you measure it. About 7 centimeters. Just over 2.5 inches. What do I have here for an overall length? About 7 inches overall length. Let's get that in camera in the frame there. Just over 7 inches, or 18 centimeters, roughly, give or take. We're not talking exact measurements here. It does have a very positive snap. It's quite an aggressive, loud snap. That's always a good thing in my view. Knife like this, what's the price? The going price for this thing is around £30, give or take. I think I paid around £31 for this off Heine Haynes. I think it's a good value for money, and especially since it is such a big beefy knife that you can legally carry. Would you want to carry this? I don't know. I've chosen not to, because it is so big and beefy, and I can't really find much practical use for it. I mean, What, besides admiring the knife, looking at it and playing with it, I don't really see much practical use for this knife. Now most knives, there are practical uses for them, of course, and this is no exception. Just I can't find a use for it. I mean, it's too big to be a fruit knife. It's too curvy to be a carving knife or a camping knife, so I can't really find a use for this knife. In fact, we should probably talk about the grind. I think this is, yeah, hollow ground. Can't forget to mention the grind with a sort of, I want to say a drop point, although honestly this blade shape reminds me of a cookery. Nice satin finish there. And I do quite like the Boker logo. If you're going to carry this in your pocket all day, you're going to notice it's there. In fact, we have here the Boker Plus XS for comparison. Another one of Boker's very popular UK legal models. If you were to pick between the Boker Plus XS and the Boker Plus Worldwide, I'd pick this one, the Boker Plus XS, because it's a lot thinner. This is a lot more comfortable to carry in the pocket. I have EDC'd this a lot, and plus it does have the one-handed opening, which can be adjusted. A lot thinner, a lot easier to carry, and this looks a little bit less threatening. Maybe just a, okay, maybe not. I mean, this is a very threatening looking knife. Also hollow ground, by the way. This has got to be one of my favourite knives. I'd say this blade shape is actually far more useful because you can't actually whittle wood with it, and you can actually cut fruit with it. Those are probably the two main things that I use a knife for. I mean, let's just close them up here and compare their thickness. See, there is quite a bit of a difference there. Oops. See the difference? Not to mention, the XS has a choil, so even if that blade does close on you, you won't get cut. Unlike the Worldwide, it does have a finger choil, but it doesn't keep the blade open. In fact, if that blade was to close on you, well, that's essentially going to act as a guillotine. Not that I think this blade is likely to close on you. In fact, even relatively weak slip joints, like a Swiss Army knife, I've never really had a problem with them closing. In fact, the only knife that I carry are slip joints because I can't legally carry a locking knife. So I really wouldn't be concerned about that closing anyway. But if it does have that half stop. But I do think this knife is worth the £30 that you'll have to pay for it. A good, thick, chunky, beefy, heavy knife that might not be the better option for EDC. And if you're to pull this out in public where people can see themselves, they're definitely going to get frightened. I mean, a knife for public carry, like if you're going to be using it outside, probably better with something like a Swiss Army knife because it's a lot less threatening. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching.